Hey everyone, it's Kai. B Clan Collection is all out, all the cards are revealed, and we can start talking about the winners and losers. Which clan won, which clan lost. We do this for every single collection set, so it's no different. A lot of people, I think, will be saying there's a lot more losers this time around. It's just the overall power level doesn't seem too amazing. And the only thing I want to say is that people just want a huge shake-up in the metagame. Not just because this set comes every 6 months, but also because when Bermuda dominates, no one is happy, right? There's a bunch of people who just hate it when, you know, a Bermuda deck is around, especially like a deck that can like sit around and like grind out games and take a long time, which is basically Prism. So yeah, I can understand why people just want it to go. And what, you got Gabriel and things like that, people just want it to go. But, you know, overall, we've got to take into account, you know, this is not a tier list. This is not a tier list. This is saying, okay, did your clan get something good? And is your clan like better from it now? And that's what it is. So if Mega Colony got a good card, that doesn't mean it's a good clan anymore. It just got support, so it means it's slightly more playable. I'd call that an improvement. That's a good thing. So in terms of the scale, we do have a huge upgrade. That is basically, you got such good support, your clan is now really amazing. An improvement is just you got something good. A side grade means that, you know, you got a different, it's like a different play style for you to play. Keep in mind the brackets here, this doesn't mean it's bad. It just means you have a different way to play. And I guess like a lot of the big kind of decks out there, right? Like the top tier decks, I think a lot of their support will go to side grade unless they got a big improvement. That's just bad news, right? That's kind of bad news, but you know, a lot of them will be side grades. It's just heads up. It doesn't mean it's bad. I have to emphasize that because people go, it's not in the top slot. That means it's trash. There is only one trash level here, and that is the bad times. If your clan goes here, you are definitely in bad times. But anywhere else, I think, it's just offering a different way to play. Like the top two, you want to be in top 2, of course. But if you're at a side grade, yeah, you can flex around with that and see how it goes. Yeah, that is it. Let's just get started. We're gonna go through everything. First off, we've got Royal Paladin, Thingsaver, big deal. In V, not so big deal. I think this is a side grade, right? Currently, Royal Paladin has 2 archetypes that are really decent. Like just decent. We've got MLB and we got Sanctuary, and both of them combo with Jewel Knights. This is not going to be any different. This is going to be Jewel Knight X something, which is just Thingsaver. The problem is both MLB and Sanctuary are just kind of decent at the moment. So I don't think Thingsaver will just totally push it up the top. Maybe it becomes an improvement through some more testing, but I feel like this is definitely a side grade. So just putting it there, right? Same thing with OTT. Right now, OTT has that issue where, you know, it's got 2 okay decks, you know, Battle Sisters and Susanoo. And then sure, you want to buff Tsukuyomi. It doesn't really buff it, like cover its like old weaknesses, where it's become, now it's really good. It's still like it's still got its own weakness. It's still a 3 attack deck. So yeah, this is more of a side grade. This is more of a side grade to me. Maybe you can like mingle some of these cards with like at least the grade 3 with some of the old decks, but otherwise it's just, yeah, I think it's a side grade. Probably, yeah, definitely not a bad time. Next we got Murakumo. I want to say, like, honestly, I'm just saying this might surprise you. I had fun playing Murakumo and high rolling the crap out of random players with Murakumo, but it's bad. It's honestly bad. Like, there is no stealth themed support. There's just not enough. Right, they gave you some more something, sure. You get 5 drive checks, you can make multiple attacks and high roll and win. But that's all it has. When we think of Murakumo, we have Shiryukis, right? And sure, you can run Shiryuki in the deck. But you know, you've got like a Shiryuki-centric build, you have Yasue. You've got like decent builds, right? Already decent builds. This offers nothing. This technically is like a different way of playing, but there's just no support for it. There's like no support for stealthing. We're still like, they released more Murakumo cards, it's still not stealthy, and so where does this go? It just goes to bad times, right? So unfortunately, Murakumo, I do have fun playing it, but it goes here. It goes here. It's pretty sad. At Genesis, I think this is a bad times. All right. I look at all the Genesis decks out there that we have right now, and I go, do I want to put Fortuna in the deck? And the answer is like, no. I can play the deck without Fortuna and just probably be better. And then like Valencia is a good support, but otherwise, you know, it doesn't really carry this entire support thing at all. So I feel like it is bad. I just feel like it's bad. It's just not good enough support for Genesis. You know, Genesis, well, it's got a few decent decks in V right now. Like Regalias, we've got Himiko Regalia, and then, you know, Astroports being the dominating one. This one just doesn't fit in anything. It just doesn't fit in any of them. It doesn't really create like a different way to play, you know. So yeah, it goes to bad times. Vowing Sword. When people saw Vowing Sword, they were like, this is amazing. But for V? For V? I don't think it's an improvement. Like Demolition Dragon is an improvement. Sure. Spark Rain, not so much. Vowing Sword. It's not great. Even in Eradicators, you're kind of like, do I run this or do I still run Descendant and Gauntlet Buster? It's like, I don't know. I was thinking of putting it actually here, but because like Demolition is actually okay. Demolition, you know, technically kind of an upgrade for Eradicators, well, even though Eradicators kind of just jank. It's like, I think it's Tinker in the end, just like low side grade material, bad times kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Dimension Please, this is a huge upgrade. Dimension Please, you know, bro, not just Kaiser is amazing. Just saying, Kaiser is amazing too. Heal Guardians actually just benefit this deck so much. I think it's a huge upgrade. Deepole, huge upgrade. Definitely, like, they were okay before, but now a bunch of really good cards probably pops them really high. I think it's definitely, I think it's a huge upgrade. If you're a Deepole player, you're definitely happy. Everything you got was good. Seal Dragons. I think Seal Dragons is a side grade. Like, people say, you know, this is not an Overlord, so it sucks. And it's true. Overlord's very good. Overlord's decent, like really, really decent. It has huge one-shot potentials. But nowadays, like with Heal Guardians, I feel like that's kind of decreased a bit. You can't really, like, rushing is not as encouraged as well. So I feel like Overlord's power level kind of went down. A lot of these combo decks kind of went down as well. If you want to play an alternative deck to that, a longer, more grindier kind of game, Seal Dragons is actually not bad. I know, like, people memed on this quite a lot when it first got released, but I think if you probably build Seal Dragons a bit, of course it's still a 3-attacker clan, so it's not really too amazing. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm gonna put this in the side grade section. It's definitely like a different way to play. It's not absolute garbage, because I think with what card gear also has right now, it's impossible to be absolute garbage. But just with Seal Dragons, you can hit really strong, huge power lines. You field wipe quite a bit, so you force your opponent's hand out. The weakness is, of course, just the 3 attack, but you know, you get a lot of things with crits. You can basically control the game all right, so it's a side grade. Spike Brothers. I think Spike Brothers is an improvement, right? One thing with Spike Brothers is that they get like really average, like slightly above average support, I guess, every single time. So they're never really at the top of the pack, but they still get some cards which are all right. So every time they get a slight improvement to their card pool, but nothing like that's like super amazing, right? Nothing that's super amazing. So I think it's fine. I think Spike Brothers being like an improvement is okay. It's okay. Of course, again, I have to stress, this is not a tier list. Like, if Spike Brothers got an improvement, doesn't mean it's like automatically beating like Prism and Luard and things like that. So yeah, it is an improvement. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Next we got Pale Moon. This is bust. Pale Moon is so good right now. It is so good. All right. The support I got is amazing. You know, the bunnies, twin driving, you know, things like that. Hitting, you can hit big power lines, decently powered power lines, with lots of attacks, and that's always good in Vanguard. So it's actually a huge upgrade. Like Pale Moon, before you play people thought Nightmare Dolls were right. I wasn't a huge fan of Nightmare Dolls, but after seeing like this current Pale Moon in action, I can guarantee you this is a big improvement. You're going to be seeing this in V. This is going to be one of the decks to beat in V. All right, confirmed, 100% confirmed. Bermuda Triangle. I'm going to go out of here and say Bermuda Triangle is actually an improvement. Now you're going to say none of these cards really benefited Prism much. Did it? Like, did it not? I feel like Bermuda Triangle, like, everyone focuses on Prism, but there are just so many other archetypes that are relatively good as well. If you put Prism as like a tier 1 deck, you know, you've got like, we see a lot of Highlanders do well. We see, you know, there's always that orange builds. There's like we haven't seen much of Lupina, but I feel like this gives Lupina quite a big advantage too. I feel like there are so many facets that this Bermuda support has given for like every single archetype, because there's so many. There's so many that this is definitely in an improvement. We can definitely see like more variants of Bermuda doing better than before. So that's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. Now, next is Aqua Force. I'm gonna get out of my way and say Aqua Force is actually improved. The grade 2 is actually pretty decent. People memes on Tetra Drive quite a bit because it's a plus 2k power. What is that? That is a joke. This is 2021. This is 2020. I think look, plus 2k on 12k base means you hit 14. You have force markers, and honestly, like that's all right. You have so many ways to make lots of attacks with Aqua Force. I just think there's a lot more to be explored there. Of course, in English as well. We don't even have Pursuit Assault yet. I'm just throwing that out there, you know? Just throwing that out there. We don't have Pursuit Assault. What are we playing for Aqua Force? Let's be real. What are we playing for Aqua Force in V? It's either like, you know, we've got Maelstrom, we've got Revan, like really? We've got Thavis. It's kind of it, right? Like what, Values? We're playing Values? Yeah, no, this is basically any support that they've revealed for Aqua Force is actually just an improvement. I'm just saying, it's an improvement. Right. Mega Colony. I think okay. I think Mega Colony is kind of like, it's either an improvement or a side grade, right? Grade 3 goal was good, but the problem with Mega Colony is that the entire archetype is so everywhere that it's just, what do you do with this clan? They need at least like 2 clan collections of support that actually help each other. Then we're gonna see something happening. But apart from that, you know, it's like I just feel like, oh, definitely not there. I think I have to put in an improvement just because Mega Colony is so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, okay, I guess it goes to improvement. Ramiel. I think Ramiel's a side grade. Ramiel is a side grade. Right now, the biggest deck is what? Gabriel, right? And even Gabriel's kind of like fallen off a bit. You know, everyone was hyping on Gabriel. In BSFO, we didn't really see Gabriel perform as crazy as we expected. And it's only gonna go probably worse with Heal Guardians, right? So I think like what your next best is like like Malkuth Melik, right? And then apart from that, what else? So Ramiel, so in that case, then does Ramiel make it an improvement? I feel like Ramiel can snowball quite a bit. It's not exactly that easy to play, but in terms of like the overall meta, I don't know. I have to say, like the grade 2, Sariel's good. Ramiel is decent. Let's put it in an improvement, right? Let's put it in an improvement for now, because Angel really doesn't have that many other ways to play, right? Apart from Gabriel at the moment, Gabriel OTK. I think you can still make Gabriel work. You can still make Gabriel work without the OTK. So I guess it's a side grade. Right? Gabriel's a really good card. So yeah, let's put it in a side grade. Raging Form. I want to put Raging Form as an improvement, but right now Luwad is just so good. He's so good right now that I can't really justify putting it as an improvement. But it technically does improve the Mordred Phantom deck. But at the same time, you know, Luwad is just that good. I think it's a side grade. I think because unless your format becomes full of Link Joker, then Revenges is like, I think you just still stick with Luwad, right? So yeah, I feel like Raging Form is a side grade, but it could be an improvement. It could be like Mordred becomes better, then sure, it's an improvement, right? But this one's a tough one, boys. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put it as side grade. It is a different way to play Shadow Paladin, and that's fine. It's a side grade. Next we have is Gold Paladin. I think Prominence Core is not that good. I'm just saying, it's not that good. Spectral is such a good deck. It is such a good deck that I can't really see this. I just really can't see you play Prominence Core at all, right? It just, you can make lots of multi-attacks, but you know, Spectral has 2 Vanguard swings, and the swings with crit, there's 13k. You can play it with Percival as well. I just like, sure, you got Josephus. That's an alright card. I guess Fallon. I guess Fallon is okay. Fallon is okay. It's like generic. But you actually have the slots to run it, right? Unless you're playing Prominence Score. So I don't know. Maybe it's a side grade. Maybe it's just a side grade, right? If you want to play Prominence Claw, sure, but I still think Spectral better. I guess I can't really put it with these other guys, like Murakumo. You. Nubatama. This is definitely a side grade. This is like what you got. Hanzo's, you've got Shiranui's. None of them did anything. Like Dai Horzan looked really cool, right? Dai Horzan was like, wow, this could have potential, but it's basically just suffering from the same problems as all of the other Nubatama decks of old. So it is definitely just a side grade. It's just your flavor of, are you playing Shiranui or are you playing the decks which basically don't really have any good finishes, kind of thing. So I think Dai Horzan is definitely a side grade. Ooh, I think Ancient Dragon. I think it's an improvement, right? I think Spino Driver is an improvement. It's decent. It's another way to generate multiple Excel circles. So just from that alone, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good, right? So I think it goes into improvement, just like a slight improvement. And it's okay. Nova Grapplers. One of the biggest problems with some of these clans where they give you like the Legion support is their grade 2 and the grade 3 is it's kind of forced into this specific archetype so that, you know, it doesn't really benefit a lot of other things. But in terms of like actually playing against Novas, I think it was actually alright. It wasn't like crazy good. It wasn't like too amazing, but it could still do something. It could still cause problems for the player. So I think it's definitely better than like this tier. So I think Nova Grapplers like rises a side grade. And yeah, I think that's where it should be. I mean, the problem is like Novas is just not really amazing right now. So it getting a side grade material, it just means it's like pretty bad, right? Like, but that's how it is, boys. That's how it is. Infinite Zero Dragon, Link Joker. Link Joker is definitely an improvement. Getting 3 more Starbait is nice, although Color Maker is pretty jank, right? It's just 3 more. Like Infinite Zero itself is decent. Palladium is pretty good. In terms of if it should go here, I was thinking of that, but that's kind of biased, right? That's kind of biased. But at the same time, it kind of depends on the metagame. If the meta like lets you play Link Joker, very Link Jokery, right? Lets you take it. I think it's definitely it is a candidate for a huge upgrade, but at the same time, it's just straight up an improvement. Just straight up an improvement with all the cards that we've seen. You know? So yeah, that's where it should go. And then Reiji is so bad, infinite bad, very bad. This is a joke card. All right, this is not good. It's not good. Pro tip: use your Emblem Masters. Get and bind. Not bind. Send your drop zone to Soul rather than your deck, so you deck out less. Just a pro tip. That's what I learned. But apart from that, this deck hardly works at all. It needs way more support. It needs way more support. Gear Chronicle is top tier, just saying. Gear Chronicle is really strong. It's a huge upgrade. GG, Kronos Command, you know, Caliban, all of them amazing cards. Gear Chronicle, like Heal Guardians as well, lets you live through the early game. So I think like Gear Chronicle, these past few sets has just been so good to them. I can easily see Gear Chronicle be a top tier deck going into Clan Collection, the next Clan Collection meta. So definitely huge upgrades. They've just been getting some amazing Clan Collection support every single time. So it's really good. Pinot Noir is, I think it's just bad. I think the Granblue support has been pretty bad in V. You have a great deck called Night Rose right now, and this just doesn't even hold a candle to Night Rose in my opinion. You know, you're like, it's easier to pull off. You know, you can play Protect 2. Who cares? Who honestly cares about Protect 2? You know, sure, you can't attack into it. You can't get rid of it by... Dude, just remove it. Everyone and their mom has, like, removals now. So, you know, you're forced to... It's just a bad Night Rose. Yeah, it's not good. Night Rose hits bigger. It's much more scary. Great Nature. Great Nature, I think, overall is just like an I don't know. Actually, no, Harmscape is pretty good. I think Harmscape is pretty good. This kind of maybe the support I got helps like what the Isabella stuff, like the old kind of build, I guess. But that kind of build hasn't been very competitive, in my opinion. So I think Chat Noir is kind of a side grade. It's kind of a side grade. This is definitely one of the ones that we'll need to do like way more testing to figure out. I think this one, but I think right now I'm putting this as a side grade because Harmscape is good. Harmscape is just good. That's just how it is, right? It's hard to beat Harmscape, and the other decks just really aren't really much. So it's in side grade material, I think. And then lastly, we have Neo Nectar, Vera. Vera is definitely an improvement, just because Neo Nectar is right now just not very good. So any support it gets is good. Any support it gets is good. Of course, people say like, you know, Stampioni is decent. I kind of disagree. I feel like it doesn't do enough. And yeah, so at least Vera is kind of spicy. It can make, it's like a 3-attack deck, of course, it's bad, but it can make big columns, compressed deck. So it's definitely, I definitely think this is a big improvement over Stampioni, but definitely not a huge improvement. So overall, that is all. So I think the biggest winners out of this entire set is Dimension Police, Pale Moon, and Gear Chronicle. Gear Chronicle definitely has the potential to be top tier. And same thing with Pale Moon. Like, these two definitely have like top tier material potential. Depol kind of remains to be seen, but there's just like a lot of pressure you can do. Probably like high tier 2. These improvement decks are kind of like a hit and miss. I feel like the strongest ones are probably like Link Joker. The Bermuda one's pretty decent. And basically these two. The rest just they're kind of swimming around, except like Megaclone. Megaclone can be like last, right? It can be there. But yeah, you know, I think it's Aqua Force and maybe, I think Aqua Force has slightly more potential here, like that. Otherwise, yeah, Revenges in the side grades, you know, Shadow's already really good. These decks, these two, OTT and Royals, already have decent decks already. And Ramiel, yeah, Ramiel right now I've got Gabriel is really strong, so I can kind of see this being a side grade, even when like the super combo kind of 0 to 6 kind of decreases because of Heal Guardians. But you know, Ramiel's good, Gabriel's still good, and then the rest, I guess the rest is just kind of like whatever, all just big side grades, right? Like Steel Dragon, big side grade. Prominence Core, I think is a big side grade. Rest of it just kind of depends where it is. And then lastly, this tier of card. Let me put Ragey to the back. That needs to be there. At least I have fun playing with Murakumo sometimes. But yeah, I think these are the big losers. These are the big losers. And then yeah, I gotta see why people didn't really like this clan collection much, because you know, we've got so many of these side grades. Hey, people hate side grades. They just want to see powers. They want to see like huge cool effects, which basically like these clans all got. These clans got a bit more power, and then everyone's like, I don't want side grades. I want good stuff. I want to be broken, dude. And then this is just like, trash. Trash. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of people have their own thoughts on what is a good upgrade or not. But I think we can all agree that the biggest upgrades have just been these three. And in my prediction, I think the most contentious ones are going to be like, what? Aqua Force, big contentious. Gold Paladin, I think people would be either wanting it here or lower. I'm sure everyone's just going to talk about Shadows because that's what everyone does. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Bye.